Un autre titulaire. Ça, je pense pas, par exemple.
You guys are not ready, so.
All good.
You can go.
Oh, we're gonna wait, we're used to it.
Yes, sir. Ready to go. Good.
Exciting thing is that we have a chance to clinch a playoff spot today.
It's really exciting, and it's even better that it's all in our hands, and if we can do it, might as well do it.
What did a little bit of rest?
It helped a lot, have a day off and then have a good finally after a couple of weeks, or I don't even remember when the last practice was. So yeah, I feel like we're gonna bring more energy tonight.
You feel the fact that playing playoff hockey for almost 2 months now can have a certain effect, a certain fatigue maybe at this point?
Well, it depends if you focus on that or no. If you focus on be ready every time the puck drops, then you don't really care if you're tired or whatever it's going around. Go past them, that would be great.
Ivan has arrived in Toronto. Cappy's with the team now. What can you say about the internal competition? What does it do for you? How does it drive you?
No, I think it's great. A lot of good players, and competition. You want to make better plays. You want to do more for the team. So we stay in it, and it can only help us.
Is it some kind of excitement in the group or curiosity to see Demidov finally play in person?
Yeah, for sure. We're all excited. He had a great season in Russia, and we're all excited what he can bring to the team.
Does it feel like some kind of a maybe Christmas present somehow just before?
Christmas present,
I know.
That's for sure. But yeah, I feel like we've been playing good. We've been going in a certain way, and it can, like I said, it can only help us.
Marty was saying yesterday how he felt the power play needs to. Things are clicking on the power play right now.
Yeah, for sure we can play quicker and score more goals, and then we'll be laughing. So we all wanna have a better power play.
What do you remember about playing with Demidov a number of years back?
I actually didn't remember playing him until after the interview came out. So I just remember we lost. That sucks. But good thing he's here, and we can win together now.
Do you have an impression of him yet? Like, have you?
Very skilled player, can skate good, can make a plays and score goals. So I think pretty impressive what he did back in Russia, and
Against the Sens this year, to your point of view?
Sorry?
What make your team good against the Sens, the Senators?
Their city is close to Montreal, and we've been kind of losing past couple of years. So I feel like it's the motivation that we feel like everyone has that deep in their mind, and then we're just playing a little extra hard.
I'll risk something. Physical game of the Sens, does that make difference from your point of view? Especially.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, they play physical, we want to obviously play physical, and we've shown that we can, and I think it for sure helps us.
Thanks, Juraj. Good luck tonight.
Thanks.
Be again in this atmosphere at this point of the year?
For you?
It's fun. I mean, we've talked about enjoying the moment, and a lot of work went into it. It didn't just happen. So we've, the last few years especially, this group has been through a lot to test ourselves and to put ourselves in these positions, and now you want to take advantage of it and show that you're ready. We feel as a group that we are. It's going to be a fun game tonight, so it's one of those ones where both teams are going to be fully rested, up for the game. Should be emotional, should be intense, and be a lot of fun to be a part of.
Ivan is finally in Canada now. You've been on the team for a while. Have you ever felt that kind of hype around a young player coming around?
No, I mean
I know it's a
I haven't seen it. Kind of felt like, when you David Beckham documentary and he's walking through, it kind of felt like something like he'd I'm sure it's cool for him to see the excitement from the fans and the emotion, obviously. Can't speak on that too much. Haven't seen him, but I know that there's a lot of excitement. We're looking forward to welcoming him into our group and making him feel at home right away, and obviously figure out how he's going to help us. For the reaction from the fan base, I think it's it's excitement for a reason. I think there's a lot of reasons for them to be excited right now. A cool experience for the kid for sure.
I'd imagine your starts to games have been a discussion point, but it's as simple as just saying we got to be better to start the game. What do you actually need to focus on for it?
Yeah, I mean, you can talk about it all you want. We're pros. We understand. For us, it's trying to find little details of the game that maybe we're not as sharp on early on as we'd like to be, and generally starts with puck management and allowing yourself to play to your strength. And for us, that's a forecheck. For them, it's probably maybe who plays towards their identity tonight early on is going to control the pace and control the first period, and that might be a big factor in the game. So that's something that we want to fix for sure. We showed resiliency for sure, but that's not a position we want to find ourselves in too much. So it'd certainly be nice to have a first period and something that we've talked about.
Speaking about Ivan and that hype, how can you make sure that doesn't put too much pressure on the shoulders of a 19-year-old?
Yeah, and that's and play hero. He just needs to be himself. So it's obviously fans can be excited, but it's important to temper expectations as well. It's going to be, he's going to be learning a lot. Learning systems, learning North American style game. Patience is important. So that would be the one thing that I would stress. I mean, obviously there's an excitement level for good reason. He's an unbelievable talent, but for us as a group to obviously make him understand that best league in the world, and it might take time, it might not, but either way, he's just got to be himself.
On the day-to-day, Brendan, you're probably the player with the most experience on this team, and when we talk to Cole, he's got a great relationship with you. The younger players have a really good relationship with you. Are you doing something to help them feeling good inside that dressing room?
Probably varies on an individual basis. I think one thing I was really fortunate about, and wouldn't be where I am now if I didn't have the leaders that I had when I was a young player. So you try and pick and choose your spots. The most important, you don't want to take away from that, but I think there's certainly time and a place where you can help out. Just try to notice it the best you can, and sometimes it's a little bit of encouragement, sometimes it's maybe seeing something and that they don't notice. But yeah, you're just that comes with experience. But pick and choose your spots, and an individual basis is probably different, and you just try to do the best job you can. And in the end, it's all towards the same common goal.
When you were young, who was when you arrived? Who was that player?
Well, obviously, I live with Georgie. Georgie was huge for me first few years, and Gio was our captain, and honestly a guy that played very similar to me. So there was, those would be the two. Acquiring and spent some time with us. So there were players that I could look at and maybe played a similar game to me or similar areas on the ice that I could get some help from. And then Georgie was, lived with them and the off-ice stuff, and in terms of being a pro, that's where I got a lot of help from him. So it was something that I'm really appreciative of and is never lost on me.
Brendan, there could be a perception that you come in this late in the season as a kid with that type of hype around you, and this team has already been pushing towards something. I know you had a similar experience with Lane coming in last year. What was it like when you saw his talent pierce through this level and recognize what he could do for your group? How much did that help the acceptance of a player coming in at that stage of the season?
Well, yeah, I mean, of course. I mean, from our perspective, you're recognizing a talent level that you're adding to your group, and it's going to help. And then, how can you help him out? How can you maybe see some things and speed up the process? Because, I mean, he's obviously, drafted where he was drafted and recognized how he is because of the talent level and the work ethic that he has. And but nothing's guaranteed. It's not guaranteed it's going to happen the first game, the second game. It's just making him feel comfortable, making him feel like he can be himself, and play whatever game he needs to play to be successful. And that's what we'll learn. We'll learn, what he needs and try to help him out the best we can. But certainly, I can't speak to it because I've never seen him play. But when you see these players come in, you recognize their talent level right away, and you understand as a group that that's going to help us.
Brendan, it's been 10 years since Montreal and Ottawa has met in the playoffs. Yet, despite that, it seems like all these years later, there still seems to be an edge to these matchups as the names and faces have come and gone. Why do you think that is?
It's just always carried over. I haven't met in the playoffs, but the regular season games have always been intense, and I think the fan base is add a little bit to that, and obviously, I guess it doesn't feel like 10 years ago. I still remember those playoff series, and certainly a lot of fun to be a part of, and the fans bring a lot to that. But there's just a certain level of the first game in these rivalries, you kind of understand what it's all about, and the more you see each other, familiar with the more hatred you get towards the other side, and I'm sure they're the same way, and that's what makes it fun. That's what makes our game so special and fun to be a part of it.
With the regulation win tonight, your team would clinch a playoff spot. It's your first attempt at clinching tonight. Is there a value in doing it as soon as possible in the last week of the season to prepare for what's coming up, or do you don't think this way?
I mean, we want to win. You want to win every single game. I mean, regardless of where we're at, we want to win. And obviously, if we win tonight, we get closer to these guys in the standings, and that's something that you want as well. So you want to just continue to push yourselves, and if you are fortunate enough, and won't speak about being in until we're in. If you are fortunate enough to get in, you want to be playing your best hockey now. There's no wasted days. This is a huge opportunity for us to continue to build on what we've got going. Marty likes to say, "What's next?" This is what's next for us tonight. This is our next challenge, and as a group, we got to be ready for it.
Last question.
Thank you, Brendan. Thanks for the time.
Au Québec. Ça dépend de quel bord. Le terrain était gratuit aujourd'hui?
C'est ça. Ça dépend de quel côté de la rivière.
Parce qu'on voulait que vous ayez l'impression que c'était un match à domicile.
OK, ouais.
Match de série. Hey Martin, ce soir vous affrontez les Senators, demain les Maple Leafs. Mais contre les équipes de votre division, te rappelles-tu l'an passé, il y a 2 ans, on posait des questions sur votre fiche contre votre division. Cette année, c'est une domination complète, ou presque. Qu'est-ce qui explique ça?
Je sais pas.
Honnêtement, j'ai vu ça l'autre fois. Que tu joues sa division ou pas de division, tu joues la game en avant de toi. Des fois, c'est peut-être aussi que les games ils tombent dans l'année, comment ton équipe elle se comporte à ce moment-là. Mais je pense qu'on a été une équipe pas facile à jouer contre n'importe qui, puis ça a l'air qu'on s'est bien comporté dans notre division.
Est-ce que tu prends ça comme une fierté quand même?
Oui, c'est sûr. Il faut que tu sois compétitif. Puis je pense qu'on a passé à être compétitif, d'être capable d'aller chercher des résultats.
Avec une victoire en 60 minutes ce soir, ça serait fait, vous seriez en série. Est-ce qu'il y a une valeur à réussir le plus vite possible pour que passer en mode préparation ou vous n'êtes pas, là-dedans?
Non, je pense qu'on va se focusser sur le face-off à soir. On partirait avec ça. Je pense qu'on sait où on est dans le classement puis tout, mais tu peux pas regarder trop loin. Concentre-toi sur la prochaine action. Qu'on gagne, qu'on perd le face-off, puis on va continuer le restant de la game.
Sur ce que vous avez amélioré cette année, il y a peut-être un élément, Martin, qui a fait que contre les Sénateurs, cet élément-là ou ces éléments-là ont marché ou bien marché. Il y a peut-être un élément que vous avez travaillé puis que ça a porté des résultats contre eux.
Bien, je regarde les 2 dernières games qu'on a joué contre. Je trouve qu'on était vraiment en top des autres. Là. Notre forecheck était excellent. Puis ça part tout comment tu gères les rondelles dans zone neutre, comment tu gères tes sorties de zone, tu donnes une chance. Puis dernière game, on s'est corrigé en 2e, 3e. Puis c'est de continuer ce chemin-là. Puis partir la game de même à ce moment.
Tantôt, Brandon a parlé de l'importance de rendre les jeunes le plus confortable possible et leur permettre d'être eux-mêmes. C'est d'actualité avec Ivan, ça l'a été avec Lane. Jusqu'à quel point c'est encore plus vrai avec cette nouvelle génération-là, qui ont besoin d'un peu plus d'attention ou de sentir ça vite pour performer?
Bien, je pense que notre société est dans différentes places. Côté santé mentale et tout, être plus accueillant et ces affaires-là. Je pense que le coaching est différent aussi. Fait que je pense que c'est une progression, comment on gère toutes les choses. Puis, je pense que nos vétérans sont adaptés à où c'est qu'on est aujourd'hui. Puis ça prend ça, surtout avec nos jeunes joueurs.
Il y a beaucoup de fébrilité dans la base de partisans avec l'arrivée de Demida, peu importe quand ça va se faire. Comment être certain que... Qu'est-ce que vous pouvez faire peut-être pour minimiser la pression qu'il pourrait ressentir? Parce que ça reste un kid de 19 ans, mais on dirait que tout le monde l'attend comme un sauveur à l'extérieur de votre vestiaire.
Honnêtement, je n'ai même pas encore pensé à ça.
Il n'y a pas de façon, une manière de
J'ai pas pensé à
l'accueillir.
ça encore. J'essaie de clicher un spot des playoffs.
Marty, you always talk about group decisions. What has your group decided this year?
What did we decide? I think if you want to win in this league, you got to commit to do things that are not as fun. Like not always going tape to tape and forechecking and blocking shot and defending hard and defensive pace. These are not fun actions, but they're so important if you want to win. I think we decided that we're going to do that.
Did it take the beating you took coming out of the gate to make everybody realize to what extent they needed to commit to that?
Yeah, it took probably a little bit of setback, some conversation, some examples, some hard coaching. It took a little bit of everything. I wouldn't say it's one thing, but it was all part of our process to where we are today, And for me, like, your team always speaks to you, the way they play collectively, individually, You got to listen and watch and pay attention and then, take action from there. And I think that's what we did as a group and with some individuals.
So many of those players are under 23 years old. For them to gain that experience now so that they're not undoing habits at later points when you guys are closer to becoming the team you want to be every year, how critical is that?
Yeah, it's huge. It's huge building blocks for what we're after, what we're trying to build here to get this kind of season, the way we did it. And now, the goal is to finish the job here and reach our goal and have that experience, late April. And I think that's so important to what we're trying to build here.
C'est normal que tu aies une concentration à court terme sur le match de ce soir, mais quand tu sais que tu as un jeune talentueux comme Ivan qui débarque, quand tu regardes l'horizon plus à long terme, à quel point il peut t'amener une carte supplémentaire pour toi?
Bien, c'est sûr, ça va être une carte supplémentaire. Puis mais qu'il soit ici, puis il est prêt à jouer et tout. On va voir comment les choses vont se passer, mais le focus est tellement plus sur la game d'asseoir que n'importe quoi d'autre.
Savais-tu que vous êtes dans le Playoff Pictures actuellement, l'équipe la plus jeune de toute la Ligue dans ce portrait-là? Qu'est-ce que tu penses de ça? Qu'est-ce que ça veut dire pour le Canadien, ça?
Bien, c'est sûr, c'est... la jeunesse, ça peut t'aider à garder ta fenêtre de succès bien plus longtemps. Mais c'est quoi tu fais avec cette jeunesse-là? Puis je pense que, comme je disais à Eric, c'est un gros step pour qu'est-ce qu'on essaie de bâtir ici, d'avoir ces jeunes-là expérimenter ce qu'ils expérimentent.
Le 22 février, Martin, on était ici au Centre Bell, c'était pour Centre Bell à Ottawa, c'était un match un samedi. Je pense qu'à peu près 70-80% du building, c'était des partisans des Canadiens. Est-ce qu'il y a quelque chose que tu remarques, ça, que justement, l'appui de la foule dans les...
Oui, c'est sûr. On l'a beaucoup à la maison. Puis à Ottawa, on l'a aussi. Ça nous donne du gaz. Ça, c'est sûr. Mais faut pareil, tu joues la game en avant de toi. Mais on est très chanceux d'avoir les fans qu'on a. On les a ressentis toute l'année.
Heineman back tonight?
Non.
No?
C'est quoi la question?
Heineman.
Pas d'autres changements?
Non.
C'est Monty.
Ouais.
Merci,
OK,
Martin.
merci.
Merci.